Hey guys, I finally got my hands on Deadlock. The game is fun, but I haven't found a character I like playing yet. I tried Outer Eighth, but she's too boring. I shoot the jungle and walkers more than I do players. Next was Viscous. He's adorable, but I don't know how to have impact with him. And don't even get me started on trying to control the ball. Finally, there was Mina. She does great damage, but I always die when I try to fight. Her health is too low to survive anything. I'll admit, I'm not the best aimer, or have the best game sense. I'm not a very sweaty gamer. I just wish there was a character that was easy, fun to play, and viable all at the same time. Every game has a brain-dead easy character. So who is it in Deadlock?
I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugar and softly spoken lies. You never know just how to look through other people's eyes.
Hey guys, my name is Krill, and welcome to my guide on how to play Mo and Krill. At the time of making this video, I'm at Turnus 5 and have 870 Mo and Krill games. I'm also sitting just inside the top 500 NA and inside the top 20 Mo and Krill.
We do not care.
Alright, calm down. Firstly, I'll be breaking down Mo as a character, how he fits, what his role is, and all of his abilities. I'll also be giving some tech and tips relating to each ability in his kit. Next, I'll go over some macro stuff, how to play the lane, how to play the mid game, and how to play the end game, according to my experience. I know that stuff's boring, but it's necessary. Finally, I'll be breaking down my Mo and Krill build. Alright? Sound good? Also, this isn't meant to be definitive whatsoever. Everybody will have their own interpretations, and that's okay. I'm just giving you what I think works based on my experience playing the big mole man. Ready? Let's go.
Mo and I will create opportunities, but it falls on you to seize them.
On the character select screen, Mo and Krill is described as tag team, initiator, and burrower. This is fine, but it's a little vague. This begs the question, what kind of character even is Mo? Well, let's get the obvious out of the way. Mo has the highest base HP at 900 and highest HP per boon scaling at 63. This clearly makes him a tank. However, Mo's most important function is to serve as the be-all, end-all shutdown character. This is also known as the anti-carry. This is also the reason why Mo is so hated. He essentially makes the game unplayable for a character of your choosing. Another one of Mo's jobs, as seen on the character select screen, is to serve as an initiator or counter-initiator to team fights. This means making the first move, or by countering the other team's first move. Finally, Mo does have a bit of a support element to him, as he provides crowd control and can also get by having fewer souls than the rest of your team. So, just to recap, Mo is a tank who can effectively soak crowd control abilities and draw the attention away from his team, an anti-carry who can lock down key enemy targets, an initiator who can start or respond to team fights, and a bit of a support by providing crowd control and also getting by with less souls. Now that we understand how Mo functions as a character a little bit better, let's jump into how he actually gets the job done by taking a look at his abilities.
We'll get in there and give him hell.
All of Mo's abilities are hilariously simple. I am absolutely convinced that anybody can pick up this character and learn him. Hey, future Caden here. So, Yoshi decided to drop a giant balance patch on all of our noggins the day I was supposed to release the video. So, forgive me for the delay for this coming out, because I had to re-record this entire section. As you can tell, I'm not salty at all. So in addition to me describing what each ability does and all of its upgrades, I'll also be contrasting it to its old version. That way you can sort of try and understand how Mo has changed in this patch. Mo's first ability is called Scorn. It deals spirit damage in a radius around you and heals you based off of how much damage you did. Try to prioritize hitting enemy heroes with this, since the heal is stronger when you hit them. Upgrading Scorn adds 35 damage, lessens its cooldown by 5 seconds and adds 1 meter of radius, and adds a debuff to the ability that lets Moan Krill deal more damage. Don't get too excited over this last one, it's really not that good. Comparing Scorn to its old counterpart, you can see that they've swapped around the 2 first abilities while also buffing them. The final one they didn't touch, but the first 2 are definitely stronger in the new patch. I don't think this is going to change how you play around your Scorn early game. However, that does mean you can buy Mystic Burst first item and instantly get value, which is huge. Scorn is at its most useful in the early game. If you aren't spamming the hell out of this ability while laning, you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're losing out on a lot of your trading potential.
Remember, Scorn has been imbued with Agathan technology and goes through walls.
Ah yes, my favorite part about Scorn. How could I forget? The fact that it goes through walls. It's so awesome. In fact, I think there's someone on the bridge right here. Let's hit my Scorn. Oh, look at that, I hit him. Oh, I think there's someone down here in this little veil. Well, I wonder what will happen if I hit my Scorn right now.
Keep the pressure up, Maurice.
Keep spamming your Scorn, even though sometimes you may not
can't
know.
hide from us forever.
Shut the fuck! As I was saying, keep spamming your Scorn, even though sometimes people may be hiding from you. It goes through walls, its vertical range is ridiculous for some reason, and you can be really cheeky and force people out of positions. Another quick tip I have for Scorn is that if you happen to be low in lane and you've upgraded your Scorn and have the items necessary to upgrade the damage and thus the healing, you can actually sustain pretty well off of just a jungle camp.
We can hang it there.
Right there, I healed 181 health from just pressing a button. And look at that, it's almost back already. This alone can keep you from going back to base and resetting. Mo's second ability is Burrow. While in it, you gain increased move speed and resistance to bullet and spirit damage. When the duration ends or you choose to end it early, you pop up from the ground, do a spin that displaces enemies, and deal spirit damage. First upgrade increases its DPS, second upgrade increases the amount of time you can be in your burrow for, and increases its radius, and finally, the last upgrade decreases the cooldown and increases the bonus move speed. I think this patch overall hurt Burrow since they decreased its DPS, and the buffs that they gave in return really aren't that good. I mean, if you look, they gave it 1 second extra duration, lessen the cooldown by an additional second, and yeah, I mean, they gave it some more move speed, but you were never really troubled for move speed while in your burrow anyway. It's not something you thought about because you already had so much. I can tell they're trying to encourage players to think about Burrow as not just a damage ability, which I agree with. However, I think the buffs that are meant to compensate are not enough. Burrow is extremely versatile and what I believe to be Mo's second best ability. It can be used in so many different ways, as a roaming tool, as a crowd control tool with the knock-up, or just defensively by sitting in your burrow.
Agothan scientists have made an incredible discovery. While in Burrow, you can slide!
Oh yeah, you're actually able to slide while in your burrow. This has a pretty limited use case, but it is actually faster than just going down the slope regularly. Another tip I have for Burrow is that when you're spinning, you can wall jump, meaning that you can set yourself up for movement to get away, or to chase after somebody. My final tech for Burrow is that if you, for some reason, double jump, burrow, and hold your heavy melee, you perform a heavy melee while in the burrow. It's very strange and not really that useful, but it can catch people off guard. This also works for a wall jump.
Hit the dirt.
I really wouldn't rely on this too much since it's very obviously a bug, and also the heavy melee sound still plays and you can still get parried. Mo's 3 is called Sandblast, and it is definitely the simplest of his abilities. It is an AoE disarm that lasts for 2.5 seconds and does a flat 40 damage. That's it. Putting points into your Sandblast gives you 50 more damage and 5 more meters of range. Adds a dash distance and movement slow both by 25%. And finally adds a second of duration and reduces its cooldown by 20 seconds. Alright, you guys know the drill. How does it compare to its old version? Well, firstly, they combined the first 2 upgrades of the old version and then moved it to the 3rd upgrade of the new version, which I'm really not sure what to think about. In terms of the other changes, the plus 50 damage is good early, but later it just doesn't really matter because the damage doesn't scale with Sandblast anyway. And the 5-meter range increase is definitely solid. You can also see that they've moved the last upgrade of the old Sandblast, taken it, reduced it, and put it in the 2nd upgrade of the new Sandblast. I think Yoshi's thought process behind this is to encourage people to actually put points into Sandblast, because let's be honest, who was doing that before this patch? But I think this overall helps Sandblast because it's more useful earlier on. I mean, beforehand, you had to chew through all of the upgrades just to get that juicy 40% slow, but even though it's been reduced by 15% in the new version, it's still going to be valuable. In terms of tech for Sandblast, there isn't any, so I won't be talking about it. But just a quick warning, when you're playing around these veils,
You're not killing us.
Sandblast does not go through this side of the veil, but the see-through side it does go through. So, just something to note. Oh yeah, there's one more thing about Sandblast to note.
Time to shine, boys.
If you're trying to make an escape and someone's shooting you, you can use it in your Burrow. Sandblast is highly underrated, and although it's simple, it can really make a difference. Not only does it make an M1's life a living hell, you can also combine it with other items that disarm. Last, but absolutely, positively not least, we have the crown jewel of Moe and Krill, his ultimate, Combo. This ability, I guarantee, has caused at least one monitor to be punched. Combo holds down one enemy character and completely silences them, meaning that they can't do anything while you're channeling your ult. The idea is that when you're holding them down, your team takes them out, because the combo damage you output yourself really isn't that much unless you specifically build for it. A nice bonus is that if they die from the combo, or within 3 seconds, you permanently gain 50 health. With this, on top of Moe's already ridiculous health scaling, you can easily end games with 5,000 or more health, and it's not even close. Like, you're just the beefiest character in the lobby. It's hilarious. You know, I'm not even going to bother talking about what you get when you upgrade it, because I'm just going to go with the assumption that you're able to read. Every hero-based game has that one character that everybody despises. Combo is probably the biggest reason that, in Deadlock, that character is Moe and Krill. Nobody likes being comboed, because you literally just can't do anything for the duration of the ult, unless Moe and Krill chooses to end it early for some reason, or he is stunned out of his ult by the enemy team. You need to be careful when using this ability though, because when you combo somebody, you become as much of a target, if not more, than the person you're comboing. The enemy team will do anything they can to cancel your ult and save their teammate, so you have to be prepared. Alright, let's do this one last time. New versus old combo. By taking a quick glance, you might just think, you know, they just adjusted some numbers, shifted around when you get the upgrades, yada yada yada. But then you see that the cooldown has been increased to 150 seconds. The silver lining is that you get back the 60-second cooldown when you fully upgrade it, but this is still very, very bad. To look on the bright side again, they did raise Combo's damage by buffing its base DPS to 60, and with that 1.2 spirit scaling for damage, hey, potential for that Moe and Krill one-shot combo build, that's all I'm saying. The 2 upgrades in the new combo that come before the minus 60-second cooldown are definitely there to compensate for the fact that they added 60 seconds of cooldown, so look at it however you want. But I think this is overall not as bad as you might initially think. Being able to cast combo relies on you basically being point blank with the enemy. As you can see, this little cone is the ult range, and I can't ult Infernus here no matter how much I try. I have to be within range. But for some reason, the vertical range is ridiculous. I don't know why, I don't have an explanation, but abuse the heck out of this. Any Lash players, any Mina players who think they're safe, you can double jump and ult them out of the sky, and it makes them very mad. I can ult this Infernus, but I can't ult this Infernus. It's just bizarre. When comboing somebody, you want it to be as easy as possible for your team to kill them, meaning that you generally want to be standing still. Unfortunately, combo has this little quirk where if you ult somebody and you're carrying momentum, you carry the character with you instead of just standing still in place. As you can see, he gets dragged along, and if somebody were over here trying to shoot him, they'd have to track him, making it harder for them to kill him. This is why having a gap closer that kills your momentum is so crucial. You don't want to be moving around while comboing somebody. I'll talk about gap closers a bit later in the build section.
Take care of him, Maurice!
One more tip for combo that I have is you can end the duration early to parry.
Get him, Maurice!
And you don't have to hit space to cancel the ult and then hit your parry key. You can just hit your parry key and it works. People almost never expect this, and they generally just wail heavy melees at you, so this can really catch people off guard and lead to 2 kills instead of 1. This might be a little bit harder to visualize, so I'll just drop an in-game example. Okay, one last final little tidbit about combo is that when you're comboing someone and you know they're gonna die and they're holding a bag, if you hold down your heavy melee key, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it first. Now, I know that a lot of your teammates will probably have something to say about that, but who gives a fuck? In terms of choosing who to ult, this basically just comes down to common sense. Now, I know that's asking a lot of you if you play Mo and Krill. However, just think about it for a second. Who is more valuable dead? The 2 in 10 drifter who mildly annoys you by blinding you every so often, or the ricochet inhibitor silencer Mirage who is debuffing your whole team during the team fight? Who are you gonna pick? Alright, to top off the ability section, I'll quickly go over how I build Mo's abilities. This is gonna be very loose since the new patch, so yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Alright, so starting off, you're gonna want to unlock Scorn first, then Sandblast, then Burrow, and last your ult, obviously. So, first 2 points to Scorn for that extra lane pressure and really good damage in lane. Then, what I did, even before this patch, was just instantly max my Burrow. All your points into Burrow to help you with rotations, to give you that more damage, and I just think maxing your Burrow first is the best because, I mean, it's on a 20-second cooldown with no cooldown reduction. It's great. Now, here's where I diverge a little bit. I think that going 2-point Sandblast is more worth than going 2 points combo. And here's why. Because you are now able to hit people with your slow and that range, make sure that you're able to hit them. Then I would probably max my combo.
Let Maurice do his thing.
Because at this point, your combo really matters in terms of like getting picks to snowball into like a mid-boss or something like that. And then I'd max my Sandblast, and then I'd last upgrade my Scorn.
When Maurice finds you, you are done for.
Woohoo, macro time. Now, I know this stuff is really boring to listen to, and trust me, it's as boring to make, so I'm going to spend as little time talking about it as possible. In the early game, Mo has the most potential for impact when he's placed in mid lane. This is because he can gank either lane, there are tons of little corners and crevices that you can play in close range, and an added bonus is that you can take mid boxes right at 10 minutes when they spawn. Now obviously it's not the end of the world if you don't get blue lane, just know that for Mo, it is a bit stronger if you're placed there. Like with any other character, you need to understand Mo's power spikes when in lane. Luckily, because of the update, your first power spike comes almost immediately when you upgrade your Scorn once and get Mystic Burst. This, alongside Quicksilver Reload and upgrading your Scorn once again, should be enough to carry you through lane pretty well. Now, it goes without saying that your next power spike is when you unlock your ult at 3600 souls. If you have your ult first in lane, you should look to capitalize on it and try and get a kill. And if you unlock it at the same time as your opponents, well, maybe you can go gank another lane and surprise the enemy. It's really helpful to your team and can alleviate pressure. Now, I know I didn't say this in the character archetype section, however, Mo is also considered a roamer. So, yeah. Move your little paws. Get out there. Go gank. It's your job. Now, the mid game is where Mo really shines the most. You can get picks super easily with him, which will quickly snowball leads, lead to earn turn-ins, or a walker take, or a mid-boss. So, Mo is very strong in the mid game. In terms of how to play the mid game as Mo, you should constantly be telling your team when you have your combo off cooldown and letting them know that you want to go look for a kill. Go into the enemy jungle, go steal doubles. You should really never be taking any back camps from your team because your carries need them. And yeah, have fun hunting people down. Now, don't just go off and ult somebody completely on your own because that's just stupid. Bring a high damage buddy with you, like a Haze or a Calico. Finally, the late game. You know, that point in time where everybody just sort of sits around and waits for the other team to mess up. The game really hangs on the balance at this point where, you know, everybody's sort of maxed out their build or close to maxing it, so souls don't really matter as much anymore. On Mo, you can really make or break the game at this point. Your job is still the same. I mean, roam with your team to find an isolated target and try and take them out quickly, but just know that you will get a response from the other team at this point, unless the other team genuinely messes up really badly. People won't be alone roaming around the map at this point anymore, so you have to have your team like fully backing you up to go for a pick. In terms of how to play this point in the game, just think about it like the mid game, except any mistake that you make is way more punishable. Since both teams will likely be way more grouped up than in the mid game, you have to be ready to either initiate or counter-initiate team fights. So that's really where Mo's initiator role comes in. Even though I said that you should really think about who you're trying to go for with your grab, getting anybody is better than getting nobody, so yeah. Am I necessarily qualified to talk about any of this? Well, let's move to the build section before I'm able to answer that question.
I think it's time we go shopping.
Alright, now on to something a little more fun. The build. This build is called Can't Krill Me. It's fully annotated and completely made by me. It is just based off of what I find works and organized into different categories to make it as easy as possible for you to pick items. This is not a left to right build, so don't interpret it as that. This is meant to basically give you all the options for items that are good on Mo and let you decide what you need. What you see here in the bottom left is very generic and typical of what I would buy in a game Deadlock. Now, to go through and talk about each individual item would take way too long, so I'm only going to highlight the ones that I think are the most important and that you should be buying in every game. Quicksilver Reload is basically a must-buy in every single game of Deadlock if you're playing Mo and Krill. You imbue it on your 1, and it gives you more damage for your Scorn and heals you more because of it. Same thing with Mystic Burst. It basically adds more damage to when you use your Scorn, so you heal more. Another one of my favorites is Monster Rounds, but I'm experimenting with not buying it because I usually almost always bought it first item every game because you didn't really have access to trading potential and damage before because you needed your tier 2 Scorn. But Monster Rounds can still be good in my experience because, you know, it's just wave prio. It's just what it is. As for the rest of the items in the laning section, pretty much all of them are optional except debuff reducer and sprint boots. Sprint boots because it can upgrade into enduring, and also everybody's favorite item.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
I like it because my theory behind Trophy Collector is that there is no other character that likes to roam and get kills and get involved in fights as much as Mo and Krill. I think Trophy Collector can still get value on Mo and Krill. Please don't unsubscribe. Call me bad in the comments if you want, but I still sometimes run Trophy. And the other one, Debuff Reducer, yeah, this is a very, very core item because it upgrades into Spellbreaker or Unstoppable, and both are insane on Mo. Now, onto the mid-game section, we have a nice selection of items here. Probably the biggest one being Torment Pulse. Torment Pulse I buy every single game on Mo. It's another one of my core items. And yeah, it's super, super strong for applying escalating exposure stacks, and also just dealing continuous damage as you fight. We got, you know, your cooldown and your duration. Now, I heard this theory out there about superior duration, that people don't like it for some reason. I don't know. There's this guy named Palmer. He might be... He probably doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hey guys, I'm Palmer. I'm the crazy Moe and Krill you might have heard about. I've got almost 3,000 games played of Moe and Krill, probably more than anybody else, and I'm an Eterna 6 Moe and Krill one-trick player that has gained a bit of a reputation for being a bit of a controversial character, because I don't think that you should be buying this item or this item on Moe and Krill. Especially since with this recent update, Yoshi decided to make a combo have a 150-second cooldown, which means this item right here, which does nothing else, no background stats, is only gonna maybe help you, maybe, big maybe, every 150 seconds. And if you're playing this new patch, are you really gonna level this up to full points for the cooldown reduction and the extra 0.7 seconds when you could be maxing out your Scorn or your Burrow? Yoshi just gave us shiny new things to play with. 0.8 scaling on Scorn. Burrow that gets its damage at the first point. You know, Sandblast does some damage maybe if you put a point into it, but like really who cares about that? Because really, with Scorn and Burrow. So save your ability points on combo. Save your 1600 souls on duration. Don't even bother looking at this one, it's a piece of crap. And buy some items that are more fun and exciting, like Spirit Burn, Expansion, my beloved ability range, and things like, Tankbuster. Tankbuster is back, I almost forgot. Have a good time playing Moe this patch. Yoshi might kneecap us again, but right now, love it while it lasts.
Wow, my video just got hijacked. Whatever that guy said, I don't know. Consider it. You should probably consider it, actually. Maybe. He made a good point. Now, the live through anything category. Probably my favorite one. You know, you have your Spirit, Bullet Resil, Spellbreaker, and Plated. You know, very typical. Now, the crown jewel right here, Warpstone. You want to be buying this every single game, and you need to get good with it if you want to get good with Moe. Warpstone is super crucial. This is for a few reasons. It can act as a gap closer, it can be defensive, and you can also use it in your Burrow, which is very, very important. Things that you can use while in your Burrow are awesome. Now, I know this is just the training area, but anywhere that has a ledge like that, you would normally not be able to just climb up while in your Burrow, but you can Warpstone up. One more item I'll quickly touch on right here is Counterspell. Counterspell is awesome on Moe, because when you're ulting somebody, remember that little parry trick I showed you earlier? It works for Counterspell, and it allows you to like react super quickly to things, especially if there's a Lash on the other team. If there's a Lash on the other team and you are ulting somebody, there's a very good chance he's going to counter initiate on you and use his ult. Now onto the 6400 section. Probably my favorite item in the entire game, it's Phantom Strike. Phantom Strike instantly teleports you to the enemy and basically is the best gap closer for Moe, because it delivers you right to the enemy, allowing you to ult them. There's also a nice move speed penalty that it applies, and the cast range is pretty ridiculous. One of my favorite parts about Phantom Strike is the fact that it instantly brings any target in the air to the ground. This Vindicta here.
Strike!
Bam, on the ground, canceling her flight. This makes flying characters really mad, and you can easily take them out once they're on the ground, because they're not supposed to be there. So, when you have Phantom Strike up and there's a flying character in the air, just use your Phantom Strike on them. You don't even have to ult them. You still get value. Alright, the next item I'd like to talk about is Unstoppable. Unstoppable on Moe is almost needed late game, because there's so many stuns in the game, ways to cancel your ult, that if you're gonna ult somebody, you need this to get the full duration. As I said before, you become as much, if not more, of a target than the person you're ulting when you're comboing somebody. So having this basically means that you're guaranteed to get your full value from your combo. Next in the 6400 section is Escalating Exposure. Really boring item in practice, but it gives nice stats, and yeah, I mean, when you're constantly in a fight and proccing it, it's very useful and lets your team do more damage. I'll quickly mention Scourge because a lot of people run it on Mo. I personally don't really like the item, but it can be very strong, and I've seen it be very good. I just always forget to use it. It also does take up an active slot, so yeah. Last one I like to talk about is Spirit Burn because I think it's really good on Mo. You can basically apply it with a spin and a Scorn, and if you can get that off in like a giant team fight, it provides so much value because of the anti-heal. Oh, just one more item. My sweet, my beloved magic carpet. Look what they did to you. They took away your barriers. Ah! The stats it gives is like pretty decent on paper, but magic carpet is just too finicky in practice. Remember that thing I said about Mo carrying momentum in his ult? This applies to this, and it makes it really annoying to kill anybody you ult. Plus, there's no barrier that comes with it anymore, so if you try to escape on the carpet, you're just gonna get gunned down out of the air. The rest of the sections are all pretty much optional, maybe other than Enduring Speed. You want to be getting Enduring Speed pretty much every game if you aren't going Trophy. But yeah, Veil Walker is also a very good option if you want to play sneaky. In terms of the optional section, the only one I will really touch on is Reactive Barrier, because in lane, what you're able to do is that if there's a big CC ultimate ability that the other team is saving and trying to get, you can really bait yourself if you have Reactive Barrier, and you'll most likely live. Hey, yeah, you. If you want a burger box, here's your burger box section. Yeah, and that's pretty much my build. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts, and if you think my build is missing anything. I think it's pretty well rounded. Like I said, it's not a left to right build, so yeah. Wow, barely made it through that. Oh, this area is cute. Oh, hey, what's up? Just hanging out here with my new buddies. Oh, wow. You really watched that whole video? I'm impressed. If you enjoyed the video or learned something, be sure to leave it a like. And also, if you ain't subscribed already, go ahead and click that red button. You know you want to click it. You know you do. I'm sorry. But for real, if you would like and subscribe, it would make my day. It really helps out a lot. Oh yeah, and I'm open to all feedback for this kind of video since it's my first time trying to make something like this. So, if you have any critiques or something I should add next time, leave it in the comments. I will be making a follow-up video to this that goes over very hero-specific interactions with Mo and Krill, and also a lane matchups guide, so keep an eye out for that. Also, big thank you to Palmer for agreeing to be in this video with me. As he said, he's a very good Mo and Krill player, so I'll link his channel down in the description. Definitely go subscribe to him. I'd also like to quickly shout out Pikachu in the Discord for making me the thumbnail and my new profile picture. Very talented. Go say hi in the Discord if you get the chance. Link is in the description. Alright, that's it for me. Have a great day, you beautiful bastards.